This is Research Methodology BAF-891, Module 1, Study Session 2, Research, Science and Common Sense. The expected duration of this study session is 1 week. Introduction. Research plays an important role in science and human development. There are, however, two key concepts that relate or conflict with research in meaning and applications. These are science or scientific methods and common sense. The questions you are meant to look at here is, what is the form of contrast or similarity that can be established between common sense and research on one hand, and science and research on the other hand? As we proceed in this unit, you will learn about 1. The relationship between research and common sense, and 2. The relationship between science and research. Learning outcomes. At the end of this study session, it is expected that you will be able to 1. Examine the relationship between research and science, and 2. Highlight why research prevails over common sense. Research versus science. Research is carried out using scientific methods, which largely lends validity to research outcomes. Research gathers information, analyzes it, and then arrives at results, which is what science does. Scientific methods are simple to follow, as they are essentially a way of thinking about problems and their solutions. They are systematic, logical, procedural, and sequential in application. Research, as you saw earlier, is a careful, detailed, organized, and systematic study of a thing or phenomenon with the view to explaining them or discovering new things about them or seeing them from a new perspective. In very specific terms, you should note that scientific methods represent ways of conducting research, and research findings represent the end product of the application of scientific methods. Research versus common sense. You may have come to a point where, in taking certain decisions about some vital issues, you begin to doubt the essence of data gathering, analysis, inference, and conclusion, when ordinarily you could have made the decision without using common sense. Using common sense. People most often wonder why research should be conducted when decisions can easily be made using common sense, which is also based on rational consideration. It should, however, be noted that common sense is based on narrow and simple assumptions that are most times wrong, while research is built on theories which are constantly revised, tested, and checked to ensure that they remain as true and reliable as they have always been. Research does not, however, claim that common sense is unimportant and entirely untrue. The argument is just that common sense should not be accepted as the literal truth. This is because most commonly accepted truths have been shown to be untrue. While common sense adherents wholly accept such assumption without questions, scientists and research show the attitude of skepticism pending the presentation of concrete evidence. This is where science or research defeat common sense. Check out this site for more information on this. https://lefeza.wordpress.com/09/29/scientific research and common sense /. In-text question. How does research defeat common sense? The answer is, while common sense adherents wholly accept assumptions and rational considerations without questions, research defeats them by displaying skepticism pending the presentation of concrete, irrefutable evidence. Session summary. In this study session, you have learned that 1. Research is important to science and development. 2. Research is carried out using scientific methods, and this lends validity to the results obtained. 3. Common sense is based on narrow and simple assumptions which are not always correct. 4. Research is built on theories which are constantly reviewed and tested to ensure they remain reliable and true. And 5. Common sense should be backed by research to render it valid. Self-assessment questions. And now that you have completed this study session, you can now check to see how well you have achieved its learning outcomes by answering the following questions. Question 1. What is the intersection between research and science? Question 2. What is the argument against common sense as regards research? Question 3. Research shows skepticism towards common sense until there is dash. Fill in the gap. You have come to the end of study session 2 and module 1.